We have entered the age where everyone asks for a review for everything, and where it got over the top for me was my anesthesiologist for a colonoscopy I had sent me a request for a review. And I was like, I don't really know how to review that because I slept through it. I'm assuming he did a pretty good job. I went to sleep, don't remember it, woke up. I guess that would be my review. I did not fill that one out though. So I thought it would be interesting, and Steph thought it would be interesting if our plants had a chance to review us and our performance here in the garden. So we're gonna jump in with this emerald snow loropetalum.
I have been moved way too many times. I've been in the side, the front, the back. My head is spinning. I don't even know where I've been at this point. I do know that every time I get to know the plants around me, they jerk me out of the ground and put me somewhere else. I just don't feel like I belong sometime, except for the fact that I do kind of like where I am now, and I hope that they keep me here. Because I do feel a little better now, I think I'll give them a 3. But if they take me out again, it's going really low.
Well, that happens, right? You have to move plants around your garden. I'm sorry, emerald snow loropetalum, but it just happens. You find, especially in a plant collector garden like this, we're going to have texture differences and foliage differences and color differences, and things aren't going to match, and something's going to feel out of place, or you put it in the wrong location and you're trying to relocate it to the correct location. Luckily, we found a good spot for this emerald snow loropetalum. I don't blame it for only giving us 3 stars. Let's hear from this Royal Resilience rhododendron. I have a feeling this one's not going to be great.
I'm burning up back here. I'm towards the back of the native garden, and I'm getting sun until 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Far too much for my likings. My leaves are burning. I'm hot all the time. I just really don't like it. And as a result, I'm at the most giving you a 2.
Well, you know, this happens. We don't necessarily, this is a new space for us, this native garden, and I'm taking a plant that's native to the mountains of North Carolina and bringing it down here to the Piedmont and calling it native. It's native to my state, but you know, it is definitely in a much hotter area than it would be otherwise. But also, this is a new garden space for us, and there are big trees back here in the back, and on the other side of the same area, it gets shady much earlier in the afternoon. But the way the sun tracks this time of year over this garden in the middle of summer, this is in on the other side of the garden, it would be getting 3 hours less sun a day probably, because the limbs of the trees are hanging way over, whereas this pine goes straight up, and so it doesn't put it in the shade quite as early. That happens. You're going to learn that in your garden. You're going to put things in too much sun. You're going to put things in too much shade. A lot of times with us too, we're in the other part of the garden over there, things are far more crowded, and you'll see that some of the things that we'll take that don't want as much sun would do better if they had some things planted around them. So it's not only getting blasted on the top, it's also getting its roots blasted as well. I will say that we have very few things in the garden where we have more than one of, but we have another one here, and it's set back maybe 1.5 feet more, tucked up in here, and you can tell the difference between the two of them. Just that little subtle amount. If it was probably 3 to 4 feet back there. So it might be a candidate to move at some point. We'll probably give it another season. It's not dying, it's just not thriving. Let's hear from this twinkle toes Cryptomeria.
Geez Louise, I'm in more shade than I even started with this season. This Stella Ruby is not giving me any of the good old-fashioned sunlight that I like to have. I'm tucked under here, and I need just a little more. Please move me. I've been moved several times as it is, but please one more time and just give me a little more sun. I'm doing all right, so I will give you 3 stars. But think about putting me in a little more light, please.
Well, you know, again, this happens. You know, you're going to plant something. This twinkle toes Cryptomeria was in a container, and then we moved it here, and it was probably, because the sun is tracking over here, going to get enough sun until the limb, you know, the branches. The Stella Ruby grew quite a bit this season. It's well established, and even in a drought season like we've had, it has grown quite a bit. We'll get in here and get some of the limbs off the top of it and give it a little bit more light, but you can see, you know, we do have a few this is a real southern conifer. This is a plant that can absolutely take full sun here in our area and belongs out there. Some of the conifers we have here in the garden, we have to have them in a little bit of shade because it's a little bit too hot here for them. But I can see its complaint. It seems like a legitimate complaint for a full sun conifer to be tucked under a leafy evergreen shrub like this, to not like it all that much. I think I'm gonna get a less than stellar review from this Viburnum nudum.
I don't quite think you realize what a cool plant I am. I'm a host plant for caterpillars. I have cool berries. I got cool flowers, fall color. I got it all. But you aren't even bothering to give me enough water to do well. You've moved me around quite a few times, which would be fine, but you put me underneath these trees and not given me the water to compensate for these greedy trees that are all around me. I give you 1 star.
Well, I kind of don't blame this Viburnum. We moved it from one shady spot to another. It would definitely like more sun. There's a couple of trees here, a mulberry and other things that have been laying on it. And the main problem is, in the review, is a lack of water. This is like too far out for those corners when you're watering your garden tend to be forgotten about a bit. You tend to hit the things that are closest to the water, and we've had a really, really dry year, and a transplanted plant like this could have definitely used a little bit more water than we gave it, so that's why it's so thin. I suspect, I've gotten the tree off of it, I suspect that it's got some height on it, so it should be able to get a little more sun next year. And once it's rooted in a little bit better, I suspect it'll fill back in and everything will be fine. But in the short term, we probably deserve the 1 star on this one. Let's hear from this Summertime Blues Vitex. Don't think this one's going to go very well for me.
What on earth happened to me? I was happy and tall and big and reaching into the air, and all of a sudden, I look like a poodle in a dog show. I never wanted to look like a poodle in a dog show. It's fine for poodles, but I'm not a poodle. You're not giving me the room I need to satisfy the size that I want to become. That, and I can't bloom as much because I'm not big enough. So, I'm going to give you 2 stars because I am pretty healthy looking, but other than that, I'm very disappointed in you.
So a lot of this channel is about right plant, right place, and this plant has been in the wrong place since day one. Summertime Blues is more of a sprawling type of Vitex. There are probably better ones to become little small trees, and so I took a sprawling variety that kind of has a bit of a weeping habit almost, and tried to limit up into a tree and tuck it up into a spot where it just has not been good. And then we had a storm bend it over, so then I had to adjust it back upright, and then we've given it another chance by cutting it back, and it's coming into full flower right now, but it is an absolute, like the review said, a poodle, kind of a look to it. I don't even know what to do with it at this point. Don't tell it, but its days are probably numbered out here, but I can definitely understand. It's probably nice of it to have given me 2 stars instead of 1 star, but again, it's about picking the right plant and put it in the right place. We have close to 1,000 different plants in this garden now. You're going to put some things in poor places. That emerald snow loropetalum back there was an easy one to move. That Viburnum nudum was an easy one to move. This thing is anchored in a way that you're not going to move it. I'm not going to move this thing successfully. It's got roots on it this big around, so it probably is time for it to go. It's going to be interesting to hear from this Kumquat, which was given to us as a gift by Buddy Lee, and then we brought it home and we haven't planted it yet.
So you thought it'd be a good idea to bring this Kumquat up north and plant it in our landscape, but you never planted me. What's up with that? If I had my say about it, I'd probably stick you with one of my thorns, because I'd really like to be in the ground getting flowers and creating beautiful, yummy kumquats, but instead I'm stuck in this little pot. I am only going to give you 1 star.
Yeah, this happens. We bring things home sometimes from garden centers and then we forget to put them in the ground. Most of the gardens we go and visit, there's always a few things in containers, and you're like looking for the perfect spot for it or whatever it is. It might be actually a halfway decent choice to go back in the place of that Vitex over there. We just haven't found the right spot for it. really just don't have enough time probably to have finished kumquats here. Maybe these are hardy in zones 8 to 11, and this one was selected for some cold hardiness. And Buddy gave it to us. It's a good looking plant, right? It's well rooted in that container. We've taken good care of it. We just haven't figured out a place to get it in the ground yet. So we have a lot of plants that would review us that way probably. Plant me already is the review from this kumquat, and understandably so. Well, after the kumquat, we'll see what the Delta Fusion crepe myrtle has to say about being in a decorative pot for several years now.
I really don't know why I've been stuck in this container for 3 years. I'd probably be a lot happier if I could get my roots into the ground rather than this container. Not only that, but you kind of tend to put me in not enough sun. Right now I'm doing pretty well though, because I got some nice flowers on me and my foliage is nice and attractive. And I'm in the container with some other great plants too. So I guess I'll give you a 2, maybe a 3 for how I'm doing in this container. But just know I'd be a lot happier after several years moving into the ground.
Well, you guys know, I mean, I think this is our only crepe myrtle here, and I called the city of Raleigh the city of crepe myrtles a few times, because it's supposed to be the city of oaks because there's so many crepe myrtles around town. But I do like this Delta Fusion, this Delta series of crepe myrtles, because it has that dark foliage and it contrasts really well with these silver tones and blues and purples and other things that we can put in these containers. This one's got some rain on it in the last hour, so it's pulling it down just a bit. Will we put it in the ground? I don't know. We have only a few spots for small ornamental trees, so I don't know. I don't know if it's going to graduate to the ground or not. We'll definitely do some cutting on it next year and probably keep it for another year in the container, because it's been a nice, willing participant in the foliage contrast, flower contrast, color that we have going with this container. So don't tell it, it's probably going to stay in there. Let's hear from this pink shades Hydrangea paniculata.
I can't get any privacy around here. This landscape is insane for me. I've got tomatoes on the back, I've got solidago on the side, I got baptisia in front of me. I just have no privacy. What are you doing to me? I can't really be all I want to be with everything crawling all over me. As a result, I'm giving you 1 star.
Probably a well-earned 1 star for us. I don't know why it's even here, really. I think it was one of those things, we had this plant and was like, where's it gonna go? And then it went here, and then since then we've put a new set of dahlias in over here. The tomatoes are trying to climb on it. I just got them off of it recently. And then we kind of have an aggressive perennial border in front of it. And so by aggressive, I mean we try to put a lot of our perennials that can hold up against one another tier together so that they push back and forth on one another. And somehow this Hydrangea paniculata ended up in the middle of that. It's within the realm of possibility I could limb this up and get it a little bit higher and up out of the way a little bit. That might be a consideration. We could also move it this winter, would be the best time to do it. This pink shades variety is one that's been selected for the south to pick up some of those pink tones in the fall. Typically in the south here we go from kind of greenish flowers to white to brown or papery, where up north they'll get some color on them. You guys know that, but this pink shades is one that can take the heat and still offer some of that color. And I don't know what it's going to do here, completely surrounded and getting eaten. So I have to correct this in some way. Again, I might just limb it up into a small tree, and then the other things around it would have the space to come up under it if they wanted to. It'll be interesting to hear from this Dragon Master Japanese maple, which I'm in the process of contorting. I
have a whole laundry list of complaints. Number 1, I was in a pot for a really long time, and the pot was too small to begin with. So I wasn't really happy about that. And then they stuck me in the vegetable garden area for the winter last year, and I languished in there for a while, and then they popped me in here in the full sun and manipulated me with this copper wire. What is up with this? So quite honestly, the abuse that I take, you are getting no more than 1 star.
Well, I have another Tamukiyama Japanese maple over here that we have contorted. I've contorted like this, and I have heard a couple of times when that plant has shown up on video content, I've heard, had a couple people say down at the bottom, that's so abusive to that plant or something like that. I'm like, that was the most loved plant in this entire garden. It's the most paid attention to plant in this garden. I've had it for 25 years or more, something like that, where I contorted it like that and then have kept it for all this time. And it was in a container as well and then ended up in the ground. But it was well taken care of in the future. So despite the fact that this thing was in too much sun, it's got some ground cover stuff around it now. I think that's going to help a little bit with its being able to handle the more direct sun. The contorting thing, while it looks awful, I guess, to some folks, ultimately, when you turn some plant like this into a piece of artwork, then it becomes one of your prized things in your garden and probably get taken care of better than other things ultimately. So it's a short-term pain for a long-term gain. That's what I'll say to this plant in response to its one-star review of our garden. I'm sure this green penguin pine is not going to review us well.
So you've put me right here on the side of the road where it gets extra hot from the concrete and the asphalt. You've put me here in a spot that gets ridiculously hot. And did you not notice that I'm not really a successful Zone 8 plant? I'd much prefer to be in the most 7B. As a result, I am just hot all the time. And not only that, I'm right where some of the dogs come by me too. So although you profess to really care about me, why would you put me here? And one other thing, you got a replacement for me. I've seen it in the backyard. It doesn't feel good to know that there's another one waiting in the wings to be a replacement for what a loyal plant I've been this whole time. I'm gonna give you a 1, and that's being kind.
Oh, that happens. You put plants in the wrong place. But this is kind of a funny combo here of having a zone 3 to 7 conifer that definitely doesn't want to be in our, even if it was okay in our Raleigh garden, it's not going to be happy out here with the asphalt, you know, bouncing off of it and dogs peeing on it and everything else. And it's sitting next to an agave that will tell you kind of how tough, you know, this conditions actually are out here. The agave's thriving while the green penguin pine not so much. So I completely understand this complaint, and normally we move something and try to save it. But these slow growing conifers like this, you see that damage that's on that side. This side looks great. If you're walking down and you're coming to the garden right here, you go, whoa, that's a pretty plant. And then you go to the other side, you can see where the burn is on it. That's the side the sun is tracking on during the summertime, and the side that dogs come out of the alley and I think have pitted a couple of times. Normally, again, we would move something and let it recover somewhere else. But in this particular case, I think it would take a few years for that to fill back in because it's such a slow growing conifer. So that's why we got another one. It's about this tall. It's planted in the back garden back there. So it is aware of it apparently from its review. We thought that would be a funny spin on, you know, plants that have performed below where they should here in the garden, or plants that we selected for the space improperly or whatever. That happens. That's a big part of gardening, is learning from those types of things in your garden. I don't go through here and go, I wonder why this is doing so great, right? The things you learn from in the garden are things that have been burned, you know, the leaves are burning, they're thinning out, they're stretching because there's not enough light, all of those kinds of reasons. It's off color, it's not the color it was supposed to be, you know, all kinds of things that you'll see in plants that kind of are indicators that it may need a different location, it may need some sort of additional thing being planted around it, who knows what it is, maybe just wrong plant, wrong place, all those kinds of things that show up in our gardens. And those just a few examples in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things that have been added to this small Raleigh garden that obviously are not 100% happy in the spaces they're sitting in. I suspect that most of them will actually improve outside of that, of the green penguin pine out by the road. I think its days are actually numbered, but I think everything else will transition fine over the next couple of years. It might take a couple of years for some of them to become bigger, better, fuller again. So thank you guys so much for following along with the channel.